Hello, it's me, King Hurt. It's been a minute and it's really late and I'm quite tired, but it's all good. Oh, it's not too late, but it's just that I've been working kind of, nonstop today, or really focused today. Hello. I have 30 minutes podcast on here on YouTube and on, podcast, Spotify, etc., etc. It'll be in the description. 10 minutes if you're here on social. I assume that you're here on social. I post every day at 6 a.m. YouTube, Spotify, etc., etc. Description. Um, so yeah, today has been quite productive, I believe, in my opinion. But I'm quite tired because yesterday I slept like around 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I woke up around 12 today. And then after I woke up, I relaxed for a little bit. But also, I was going through my reels, or I was going through my content on Instagram stories and just watching people, and then it went to the paper was like, oh, do you want to create a reel with your highlights? I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I clicked on it. I was like, oh, that song was cool, and the reels that highlighted was really cool. Then I was gonna make a reel, and then after a bit, I was like, oh, why don't I make a reel with all of my volunteer stuff? I was like, let's do that, and then I did that. But then I was like, oh, it's taking too long, and I'm like, why don't I just make a full video? I was like, oh, okay, let's do that. But then I also had to go fix my prescription glass because one of my right lens popped out of the frame, so I had to go get that fixed. And now that's fixed. And basically, when I went around like I think 3, because I woke up at 12, sat around 8. I sat around. Well, no, actually, I went around 2 because I woke up at 12, sat around a little bit, and didn't really get out of bed, or didn't really wake up until like 1. And then I went at 2 after I just get ready, went at 2, came back, it was like 3. But yeah, that's basically the whole day with that. But then once I got home, I went straight to, or I made breakfast, and I made lunch, but I made my first meal of the day. And after that, I hopped right to making the video, and it was definitely taking me a lot longer than I thought it would, but everything's flowing really smoothly. Like I like oh, of course, I'm not a fan that it's taking me so long to get it done, but it makes sense. Video production, etc., editing, it does take time. But also, I'm happy that at least I'm not being stuck. I'm not being hindered by anything. Like, I'm like, how would I do this? Okay, I know how to do that. Let's try this and this and this, and it works. Or I'm like, okay, let's do this, and then I do that. It works. So everything I've been throwing onto the program is working. Like everything that I wanted to do, it's doing. So there's no technical errors. It's just that it's taking time for me to put everything together, make sure it looks nice, pretty, and make sure I'm checking my work and making sure that I'm planning out what I want to put in there, what I want to take out, and just taking my time with it too. Like in terms of not really taking my time, but making sure that the storyboard is good. Like, okay, we have the volunteer stuff, and then we have the event stuff, etc., etc. But basically, as I was doing that, I was like, oh, I'm happy that I'm getting so much done, but it's taking me really long to get it done. But I'm also that makes sense because like they say, like every minute, or not every minute, but every something recording is like every something recording is like more X. It's like an hour of recording is like 2-3 hours of editing or something like that. Like 30 minutes of recording is like like an hour editing, something like that. I forgot the ratio, but where if you're actually trying to edit a video and you have clips or you have things to use, it actually takes really long to edit videos and make it really nice, etc., etc., etc. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm happy that I'm very productive with it, and that I haven't run into any issues in terms of like what I can do, what I can't do, and like, oh, how do I do this? I don't know how to do this. Everything's been, yes, I know how to do that. Okay, yes, let's try this, and everything's been working, and everything's been running really great, and I think it's gonna turn out to be a really great video. I'm like halfway through, I believe, but it's taking me a bit. It's taking me a while. It took me the whole day today, basically from like 3 once I got back till now, which is 1, or which is like 12. Well, 3 to 12 because I want between 12 and 1 I ate some food, but yeah, 3 to 12. So that's like 7, 8, 9 hours. It's just me doing editing, and I can't believe it's taking me that long, and I didn't do that much. Or I did do a lot, but because it's a lot of intricate work, and also, just I don't do it often, so it takes me a minute to do everything. But it's not like I'm going slow like a turtle plays. It's just more like making sure it's correct, making sure I'm going. I know where I want it, and making sure as I'm thinking of it, I'm doing it down too. And so it's definitely taking a minute. And also got to make sure that it matches the song, that it connects really well, that it's not just like a slideshow. It's actually has editing in it to where there's not effects, but there's like fade in, fade out cuts, and there's where it fits the song and it's actually nice and it flows really well. So just like it's not like a slideshow where I'm just like every 10 seconds like different video or different photo, you know. But anyways, as I'm editing it, putting my works in, you know, making it nice, taking a minute. Oh, well, yeah, but yeah, it's taking a minute. I really want to hop on my music, but I haven't done that today. Probably won't. I don't know if I'll. If I finish tomorrow, then I'll hop on my music tomorrow, hopefully. But if not, then that's okay, because I really want to get this video done. Because it's not that it's difficult. It's just that I'm taking my. It takes time to edit the video. So as I'm editing it, I'm like halfway through right now. Halfway through. I still I'm like halfway through the song, so I need like another half. And also I have an idea of what I would like. It's just like now, since I got the system going, I was planning to like stay up all night until the morning and finish it. It is morning. It's like 2 a.m. But I was gonna like, you know, stay till like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, however long it takes to get it done. But I'm like also like I'm starting to get more fatigue, and I'm also like, you know what? I need to remind myself sustainability, making it sustainable, making it, you know. I'm not just gas pulling it all the way. I got to make sure when to know when to go, when to know to head to bed, and when to like rest and recover so I can come back strong the next day. So I got to make sure that I'm not just gas pulling it all the time, that I need to take my rest too. And, you know, sleeping at 2, 3, 4, that's usually like a normal time for me to sleep. So it's not too bad as long as I'm not staying over too late. But yeah, let's say if I go sleep right now at 2, that's basically perfectly fine. That was like, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, that was basically, I slept around 2, 3, 4. But yeah, after this, basically brush teeth, shower, skincare, head to bed, basically. As long as I don't get distracted. And which leads to my next point. I learned that I'm very easily distracted, at least today and yesterday. Either that's because I'm tired or that's because, etc. I just get easily distracted. I'm like trying to do one thing, and I was like, okay, let me go check that one thing. And then once I check that one thing, it spirals into another thing. I'm like, ooh, what about this? What about that? And then I get distracted really easy. I'm like, no, King, stay focused. Go back to what you need to do. You remember, you need to do this. Okay, I went back. Okay, I'm gonna do this, and I do it. I finish it, and then like I could get distracted quite easily. So I was like, oh man, maybe that's because I'm tired. Maybe that's because I'm trying to do too many things at once. Trying to like do this over here, and then when I'm over here, I'm like getting distracted. I'm like, okay, I gotta go back over here, could do this, and now I'm like, oh, I'm doing this, but oh, okay, I'm messing up. Okay, I gotta go back over here. So it's like, so like I was cooking, but also finished editing my video. So I was editing my video, I finished it, I'm uploading it, went to go cook. But then when I got to cooking, I started to like, I was gonna put on music, and I put on some music, but also went through my YouTube shorts, watching you people do shorts. I was like, what am I doing? I'm spending 10 minutes watching shorts. What am I doing? All right, and then I go back, and I was like, all right, what do I need to do? Oh yeah, cook. And then I go back, and I was like, oh yeah, finish the uploading. Okay, uploading's finished. Go back to cooking, and then like try not to get distracted. Getting distracted is quite easily. You know, today and yesterday I was like, oh, I'm getting distracted quite easily. You know, do one thing, but then it puts me to another. Blah, 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 blah. It's quite late. Oh, I need to do my dishes. So actually, before that, I'm gonna go wash the dishes, do my dishes, and then cause usually I leave my dishes till at the end, so I can do everything at once instead of doing a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Do everything at once, and because I don't have too many dishes, and also usually when I cook my dinner, I'm clean too. As I cook my dinner. Well, when I do cook my dinner, I clean, you know, I wash my dishes. But today I didn't make dinner. I bought, or my roommate bought dinner, and then, so I ate some of that. And then, of course, I'm still on my diet, but I was like, let's just eat this. And also, I was editing videos, so I was like, I didn't have time to make something. But I do have time. It's just that it'll take me a while to do the video, and then you know, to go back and forth like that. It will take me a minute to cook. Like cook and clean and everything usually takes me like an hour 30 minutes or so. Shouldn't take me that long, but it does take me that long. I'm ashamed to admit it, but it's something I'll get faster. It's something I'll improve, etc. Okay, there's that. But yeah, the volunteer video is coming out hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then man, it does take me a bit, but I am projecting that I will be finished tomorrow, and then hopefully I can jump on my music too, because I've been really wanting to jump on these 3 songs that I have, and check out the 4th songs too if it's a worthy, if it's a worthy song to pick. But I am very, very, very excited to get this song going. It's just that as I got this new video going, I'm gonna finish this video and then I'll jump on the music. Very, very, very excited about it. I'm very excited about the video. Very excited about the music. I am like very, very, very energetic right now. I could still stay up, but I know I need to go to bed. I know I need to go to bed so I can wake up tomorrow and start strong and do everything I need to do. If I have a burning passion, the thing is about sustainability and making sure that I'm creating healthy habits. Healthy habits is that I need to, if I have this fire, for me, it's more healthy that I have this fire, but I can like go to sleep, wake up, and still have that fire, or like can reignite that fire. Like, oh, okay, so that's okay, my fire's up again, and now let's go. I'm refreshed. I'm rested when I need to rest, and now let's go. I didn't have to overburn that fire and overburn my health, my physical health, mental health, etc. Just like burning myself out, because it's not that it's unnecessary. There's a time and place for it, but for sustainability, for long term, you don't want to really gas pedal like that. At least when it's uncalled for, there's a time and place for everything, and when you do need to gas pedal it. But right now, I don't need to gas pedal it. I don't have a deadline to meet. Of course, I want to get it done as soon as possible, but let's say I stay up overnight or till morning or till the day. It's only gonna hinder me the coming day unless I put that load and then not sleeping, etc. But it's only gonna push me back. So sustainable output of energy, and to be able to have that passion, not turn it off, so to say, more so have that passion, that energy, and then be able to sleep, wake up, and still have that passion, and be able to get on your gear and get going again. Like like a power nap kind of a thing, where yes, you can sleep and feel relaxed and wake up, and then boom, you're ready to go again. Like all rested, but also still having that passion. That's what I'm trying to reach. I think that's very important to get to that point where your fire is always burning, and it's okay if you rest, because resting doesn't dwindle your fire. It's more so resting so that your body and your mind can keep up with your fire, your passion, your soul. Making sure that your mind and body can keep up with your soul, your passion, and what you're asking from your body and your mind, etc. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Those are basically the things that running through my mind right now. Another topic that, sorry, I'm just like itching my eyes. Oh, it's so late. I'm sorry. Not very professional, but my eyes hurt it. Oh, that hurt it. I looked at myself, and the light also hit my eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, it's late and I'm tired, and I'm trying to get this out. Wow, I still have 15 minutes to kill. Like 18 minutes actually. That's all good. I can talk for hours. I can talk for days. I can keep going. It's all a matter of making sure that it's good content, that you enjoy these sort of things. Of course, I don't think there's anybody that's really truly listening all the way through in the whole thing, at least right now, because I'm still just a nobody. I'm like just doing this for fun, and also so that I'm creating consistent content for myself, and so that I'm on my own schedule, so that I'm keeping myself accountable, and also that I'm showing myself that I could do it, and also I can output like that, and also good habits, because if I am going to start creating content and things like that, then I would like to have some sort of schedule. I would like to have the ability to be able to record something like this. If I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's record something, boom, I'm recording something, and boom, I put it out there. Because as I'm figuring out too, since it's episode 9, the first episode I did took me a lot longer to edit, to do everything, to post everything, make sure everything's all good. Now that I'm in episode 9, I'm like, yeah, I know what I want to do, how I want to post it, like how quickly I want to post it, having drafts and stuff. So it's only going to get better from here, in terms of like, maybe not content wise, but in terms of like, uploading it, putting your descriptions, putting it on YouTube, putting it on Spotify, putting it on social, like just having a system for that, so that you can slowly build up your own system, and also what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and understand that kind of workflow, so that in the future, let's say I'm like, okay, now I need to make a 10-minute video for like playing games, or 10-minute video for like a dancing video, or 10-minute video of me doing a review or something, or doing a reaction. Then I can just pump out a 10-minute video, boom, like that. because I already had that system going for 30-minute podcasts and 10-minute videos. That's more like a 15-minute video or 15-20-minute video, and then chopped down to 10 minutes, like something to that degree. And that's a lot easier than me trying to do 30-minute videos. But it's not like I do a lot of editing on these podcasts either, but it's just more so getting me into the right mindset, the right mood, and also having me practice making videos. Because if anything, this is just practice for me to record myself, talk to myself, and talk to the camera, or talk to, whoever's listening. If you're listening, well, nice to meet you. But okay, talk to talk to myself, talk to the camera, talk out loud, and be able to just explain my thought process, and not talk so fast, and not explain myself that makes sense, and not using too many not using too many like ands, and not using too many those ad libs kind of a thing where it's hindering my way to speaking, and just hindering me from explaining myself and sounding more professional, or just more casual, or just in a way where it's making it difficult to listen. If every time I'm talking and you always hear then that's gonna be a little bit annoying. So it's all things to work on, and making sure that I'm trying to be as good as I can be, and just practice. At the end of the day, it's practice. Practice makes perfect, and just keep practicing and you get perfect. But of course, you can't just practice brain dead. You gotta practice and be mindful of it, of course. But even just practice brain dead works too, but to a degree. But basically, you have to practice. Either that's dancing, either that's singing, either that's creating music, either that's creating content, either that's recording yourself, either that's setting up and tearing down, or that's like putting away your lights, whether that's getting dressed up for a performance, or in getting undressed so that you can change into another costume, another dress, so making sure that you're practicing your sets, practicing everything is practice. And the more you do it, the more you know how to do it, and the more you're comfortable with it, and the more you can get it done quickly. I can still snap on my right hand, but my left hand definitely snaps a lot easier. Anyways, that's a side note. I have another point that I never really got to, but I can bring it up today because we still have a lot of time to kill. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. I'm going a little bit too fast. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna take a chill pill. I'm gonna slow down. Okay, so one of the topics that I wanted to talk about that I didn't get to talk about was there's of course a stigma. I don't know if you have this, but I know for me, I didn't have a stigma with trying to look my best, or trying to have like people who try to look their best. There's always that stigma, right? That they're just trying to look their best, but they're not that great, or they don't look great, or trying that judgment and just things like that, where you're trying to look your best, but it's frowned upon, or it's not really looked upon. Of course, there's a lot of scenarios and a lot of situations where that occurs. Maybe that person is a butt, maybe they're an ass, and maybe they're a douche, or maybe they're really mean about it. So you can make fun of them because I don't know, etc., etc., etc. Or maybe it's just that you're trying to look your best, but people think it's funny because you don't really try to dress well, but now you're trying to dress well, and it's like funny. Whatever the hell the case is, I don't know. I just got kind of mad. Okay, whatever the stigma is, there's to some foreign degree, there's a stigma with trying to look your best, or trying to be different, or trying to so that's the thing that exists. But I think it's important to have that in your pocket, to try to look your best, or to practice looking your best, because there's a time and place for everything, and there's a time and place to look your best, and there's a time and place to look casual and be casual, and there's a time to be professional, there's a time for everything, time and place. But if you don't ever try to look your best, then when you do need to look your best, you're not gonna look your best. You know what I mean? So it's good to practice to look your best. Even if there's a stigma to it, it's just good that you practice it and you try it out, because you're going to need that. When you need to pull it out, and like from your back pocket, boop, you have it, it's like that app that you never really use, but when you do need it, it was really helpful, and like you can live without it. It's kind of like that. Or it's like pulling out your wallet. Like you never needed that business card, but now this is the greatest opportunity, and now you're so happy that you have your business card. Something like that. Does that make sense? But it's okay. Do practice trying to look your best, and of course there's a stigma on it, etc., etc. But I think it's good practice. Of course, as long as you're not being a douche or like an ass about it, or you're not being a mean person about it, then I think you should be fine. Don't think too much about it. It's just you trying to look your best and do everything you can to be beautiful or be handsome, be the best that you can be. You know, it's okay. It's okay to want to try that. It's okay to like look your best or fail. It's even okay to fail. If you try to look your best and then you go back, you're like, yeah, I didn't really look that great. That's okay. Things happen, you fail and you grow and you move forward. And it's okay if you don't look your best. So it's okay if you messed up. It's okay. Move forward. It's a growing experience, and at least now when the time does come that you really do truly need to look your best, you got it. You understand what it is and etc etc etc, and you can rock your best, you know, because part of it is also rocking your best or rocking what works for you, and that's basically what would kind of separate you from someone that doesn't look your best and someone that does look your best. Or what separates people from looking their best and not looking their best is if you own it or not. That's one of those key factors that contributes to whether or not you own looking your best or not only looking your best. Because things like style or things like looks, it's all subjective. But what does help a lot is if you can carry that and make it yours, or make it nice, or make it nice, sexy, or making it like what's that word for it? I don't know. Making it yours, because the thing is, when you make it yours, then it doesn't feel out of place. It feels natural, and it works for you. And hey, that might be what makes you stand out. You look different, but also you're owning it. And hey, now it might be like the new style or the new trend, etc. So you just never know. But the main thing is just when you own it, that is a big booster, and that's a big factor of separating what your best look like and what other people's best look like. The best of the best. That's what kind of separates all that. Of course, some things work out, some things don't work out. You kind of just have to play it by ear, but don't worry about it. And just try, and so that when you do need to look your best, you got it, and you can pull it out of your back pocket, like, shing, that's a knife. That's how you do it. Etc. Like I said, there's a lot of things I could talk about. I still have 7 minutes to kill. That's a lot of time. I feel like I'm talking so much, but it's only been 23 minutes. Okay. Let's see. More like 22. Okay. But let's see. Today, although, okay. So I do have 2 to 3 months to kind of get everything rolling, make things happen, and go for it. But of course, I think 2 or 3 months. Yes, but it's more like 2 months, or like 1.5. But like, because I really would like to get things going, and I would really like to as soon as I can. But of course, I'm not trying to drag things down and trying to make things make things unbelievable. I don't know. So blah, 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 blah. Okay, I gotta slow down a little bit. Okay, because it's late too. Okay. Yes, of course I want to get things done and out as soon as I can, but realistically it'll take me more than 2 or 3 months. But I'd have more like 1.5 or 2 months. More like 2 months. I have more like 2 months to get things rolling, but it's gonna take me more than 2 or 3 months to get things rolling. But that's okay. The idea is to think. The idea is to push for things, and hopefully things happen. Or if it doesn't, then that's okay too. But the idea is to, even if you just have, like, let's say 1 month, even if you just have 1 month, that's okay. That's enough time, or that's time, and just shoot for trying to make the most of that month. And of course, doing your best and believing in yourself. And of course, you can't just ride on hopes and dreams. You gotta actually show results, and you actually gotta have a system going. But of course, that's a good first step. And then the next step is to make sure you have a system that works for you, and a system that drive you forward and make these things possible. Because it takes the drive and the passion and the dream, and it takes all that to make it happen. The second part is that it takes the actual system, actual work, and actual practice, and actual sitting down to think of it, and sitting down to actually make it work. And that's what's important. And then which reminds me too, one of those important factors, what separates, like, what you're trying to do and why some people don't want, like, no, what separates a performer from a person that let's use dancing as an example. What separates a performer that dances from a regular dancer that does it as a hobby? What separates those two? Well, I would say that, let's say they're evenly leveled, like they're evenly skilled, but what separates a performer, a person that dances and performs, from a person that dances as a hobby, even if they're at around the same level of dancing skills, what separates them is just, in my eyes, there's a lot of scenarios, of course, but I'm gonna pick this one scenario. In my eyes, it's that for performers or people who are in those situations, they apply their dances a lot more in the profession. It's like they're both dancers, and then it branches off. Dancing as a hobby, dancing as a performer, like going to stage and things like that. So it branches off. So like the strength of a performer is that they perform, they're on set, or they do things right away, or they're right on it. If you need something done and within the day, boom, they got it. Or you need something done within the week, boom, they got it. Or you need them to perform right now, okay, they got it. Poof, perform. But someone that does a hobby, they could do that. They could probably do that too. But their strengths are more with like, oh, that's their hobby. Maybe they're doing something else on the side, so so it's not their main drive, but it's something that they're really passionate about. So maybe they're more creative, or maybe they make their own things, or maybe they with their passion they're able to understand who they are as a dancer more, or understand what they're trying to create, and what is their creation, and what does it mean to dance, or what does it mean to them to dance. So it's like two different avenues. Not saying that the performer can be like a dancer like a hobby. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that in this specific scenario, when I'm branching them off, I'm having them as two separate kind of identities, or two separate like job titles. So you kind of get what I'm trying to get at. All I'm trying to say is that so let's say you as a person that enjoys dance, or let's say you as a person that enjoys singing, and you are pretty decent at it. You might not be amazing, but you're pretty decent at it. So what would separate you as a singer that practices, and you're good, you're just not amazing, but you're good and you can do it? What separates you from someone that's more professional, or someone that's in like a studio, or someone that's signed? What separates you that's really passionate and that's really good as a singer from someone that's a signed artist, or someone that's under a label? What separates you two? Well, you both are kind of similar level. Let's assume that you both are similar level. What separates you two, I would believe, is just in this specific scenario that I'm creating in my mind, what will separate you both is that let's say you are, since you're not signed, or you do that as a hobby and you practice a lot, you might not have your own originals, or you might not have been in that scenario where you have to create your own lyrics, or where you have to pump out lyrics, or where you have to pump out music, where you have to sit there and record things back to back to back to back, or you have to stay up late recording things, or you have to shoot videos, like music videos, like maybe let's assume that in this specific scenario that I'm creating in my mind, that the signed artist is someone that has been through all that. The signed artist is someone that y'all both might be the same level. You might be better, or they might be better, depending, but let's assume that you both are around the same level. They've applied their voice in those circumstances, in those situations, so they're more used to it. Or if they need to pump out lyrics, they can pump out lyrics. If they needed to record like three songs in a day, then they got it. 3 songs in a day. They might not be perfect, but they got it. Or if they need to go back to back to back to back with music videos, then boom, they got it. Or if they need to stay late to record something, boom, they got it. That, I would say, that will be what separates you both. Assuming that in this scenario that I created in my head, assuming that in this scenario you both are similar levels, it's just that they went down this route and you went down this route. So like both singing, and boom, you guys both went on your own routes. And I will assume that will be what as a theoretical scenario, that's kind of where you both are at. So that's what will separate you both from like you not being a side artist and them being a side artist, and you doing it as a hobby and them doing it as a job. That's what kind of separate you. The reason why I had this thought process, and this is something I thought about today, was because when I thought about myself, I'm like, what separates me from someone that because I enjoy music and things like that, but I don't have a lot to show for it, of course. But assuming that, you know, anyways, just putting in my position where what separates me from someone that has done music or someone that has, the experience, or someone assuming that they're better than me, at singing and everything. No, assuming that, and also assuming that for some reason, I'm not saying I am. I'm just assuming that, okay, but what if I haven't the skills to be around that level too? Then what will separate me from them? And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I can point to, not just specifically, the performances, the skills, the talent, but more so the work ethics, the schedule, the sacrifices, and having a good system. Like, those sort of things are what will separate me and from someone that actually does this full time, or does what I'm trying to do. Having a good system to where they can pump out things, or to where they can pump out things if they need to pump out things, where they can get things done within a day, or they can get 3 songs out in a day, or they can get 3 choreographies down in a day, or they can do things back to back to back to back. They can do 1 thing, 2 thing, 3 thing. They have a schedule going, they have a system going, and they got they're healthy, or they have a routine going, or so I would say that because I was thinking about that scenario, and I was like, yeah, that's true. Like, let's say talent, skills, and what you're capable of are not a factor. Let's say those things aren't factors. Like your skills, your talents, what you're trying to do, those things aren't factors. What else is important? And I was like, okay, if I don't think about that, then what's important is that having that drive, and also having a good system going, having an idea, and also making it, doing it, putting your butt out there, like saying, just do it. Boom, you're out there, you're doing it. But yeah, that was what came to mind. I just realized that I'm slowly running out of time as I'm looking at my clock. But I'm gonna do that to conclude episode 9, and I'll jump back onto that idea tomorrow, hopefully, or for episode 10 if you enjoy it, and also if you're listening, because I think it's a really interesting topic that I would like to talk about more. But I think that's it for today, and I'm kind of running out of things to say too. But thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. This has been episode 10. My name is King. Of course, this is 30-minute podcast, but if you're here, then thank you. Pretty sure nobody's really listening this much, but if you are, then hi. It's nice to meet you. Right now, I'm just a nobody, but hopefully when you do see this, I'm a somebody. So that might be kind of exciting. All right, thank you very much.